Happy New Year, everyone. This is British English with Maria. So I wanted to take this opportunity to wish you a fantastic 2024 ahead. May all your dreams come true, or some of them at least. Let's be realistic. And today what I wanted to cover are the New Year's resolutions. If you've never heard of them, basically, these are like things that you promise yourself to do over the course of the next year. So kind of like a checklist or objectives in a way, but because you do them at the beginning of the year, it's supposed to be more magical. You are potentially more likely to do it, or so the legend says. In reality, things are quite different. So let's look at what kind of resolutions people typically choose, why they fail to achieve them, and perhaps what can we do better to actually stick to our New Year's resolutions in a better way. And just on the vocabulary side of things, resolution, the verb is to resolve. So you resolve to do something, meaning you have decided firmly that that's the sort of objective or action that you're going to take. So first of all, why do people feel that New Year's resolutions are better or any different from setting objectives any other time of the year? Actually, it's because brand new year, brand new me, people often say. They feel that it's a chance for a fresh start, and they're definitely going to stick to what they need to do this year. They will change their habits, they will transform their lives. This year will be it. And quite often that fails because expectations, something magical suddenly come into fruition. You know, it's quite an unrealistic expectation. In reality, they say it takes about 21 days to develop a new habit, to set a new habit. And what we do, we try to maybe set 10 or some or 5 resolutions. And it might be too much. They may be a bit unrealistic or a bit too big of goals, and we try to do it all at the same time. And when we don't see immediate results, we tend to give up because we think we have failed. So let's unravel that for a bit, right? I mean, the whole objective setting is supposed to be a final goal, right? But we need to have those little steps that will take us there. And those little steps, they take time to kind of become part of our routine, to become part of our psyche, of our personality, like to accept that this is who we are now. For example, when you're trying to develop a new dietary regime, you want to eat more healthily, for example, it will take time for you to change your shopping habits, to change your dietary habits, to learn to cook new types of meals for your body to get used to it as well, for it to become the new norm. For example, when I tried to eat less salt in the beginning, the food was a bit tasteless, but over time I started tasting, for example, food in, you know, the taste was a lot more pronounced, and I could taste the food much more. Now, if I have too much salt, I can definitely feel like it's just too salty for me, you know, but it took time to get there. So I think the fact that we expect immediate transformation just because the New Year's magic is in the air, that's not going to happen, okay? So that's first real barrier as to why things do not go according to the plan. Also, with any objectives, we have to really question our motivation behind choosing them. Do we really want to be healthier? You know, have you set the right type of objective? Are you just trying to lose weight to please someone for your health? Or are you just trying to look better? You know, what is the real fundamental underlying reason why you chose that specific resolution, let's call it, or objective? And if the motivation is not real, is not genuine, it's not long lasting, right? It's a spur of the moment. Oh yeah, let's eat healthier. But you're not really definitely 100% motivated and have that final goal in your mind, you're not really going to follow through and keep pushing when the going gets tough. And I think that's another real barrier to why we fail to achieve our objectives or resolutions again. Let's call them resolutions for the purpose of this podcast. So we kind of expect that things will go perfectly well because we're so motivated and energized at the start of the year. In reality, we're going to run into a lot of barriers and obstacles. There will be many hurdles to overcome, like feeling hungry, let's stick to the food objective, right? So when you're reducing your rations or eating more healthy, you'll be craving, you'll be really desiring those unhealthy foods you used to eat. You will be reaching, going to the shop and reaching for the shelves automatically, right? Because automatic behavior is really powerful. To break automatic behavior, to break those patterns of routine, takes a lot of energy and time and effort. And we might fail more than once, but the trick here, guys, is to overcome that feeling of failure, to not say I failed and that's it, I'm not going to bother anymore. You could say, okay, this is a little setback. I'm still motivated. I still want to get there. I'm going to push through those difficulties. I'm going to find a different way of doing things to overcome these challenges. And that's the only way. If you accept that things are not going to be easy, if you do not pretend and lie to yourself, everything will be fine and perfect and peachy rosy, I think that's a real starter for getting anywhere, really. And if you get, for example, say you want to reach, for me, it was a B1 level in German, and I failed at that. I'm still on A2 at the moment, just getting through it, the theory part, not even practical part. But the point is, we have to celebrate our small achievements. Even if we're not 100% where we want it to be, you need to pat yourself on the back and say, well done. You have to really take time to say, to recognize that you have made an effort, you've made some progress towards the final goal, because that can really motivate you to keep going. Otherwise, if you just, kind of scorn yourself for not being there exactly where you wanted to be to begin with, then you're going to feel demotivated and just give up. And again, that's a certain sure way to fail meeting your New Year's resolutions. You've got to kind of plan ahead as well. So maybe if you have 5 resolutions, time them out. Don't try to do everything at once. You can't learn a new language, stop traveling, develop a new fitness regime, change your romantic situation, move countries, change your job, all at the same time. You have to be a bit more realistic about that. You can work towards multiple goals, but you cannot expect to see results and transformations immediately, or to change all areas of your life. This is where I'm really skeptical of new year, new me. You're still the old you just a motivated you who wants to work towards slow or, gradual, let's not call it slow, let's call it gradual progress towards your final objective. And just going back to, overcoming hurdles, you need to develop resilience. You need to just, avoid those negative thoughts creeping in, saying, I'm a failure again, it's still old me, I haven't been able to achieve something. Good things take time, take effort, take energy. So do not expect immediate transformation. I think you have to really keep that in mind. You have to revisit the goals you've set for yourself. You have to review your motivation. You have to reflect on, do you still want to achieve what you've set out to achieve? Maybe your situation or your motivation or your desires have changed, and there's nothing wrong with adjusting your goals. So for me, New Year's resolutions are great, but you really need to keep reflecting on them and not think of them as once a year exercise. It's a continuous thing. It's throughout the year that you have to keep thinking about these things and resetting and just reviewing and, getting back on track where you need to be, or dropping something if it no longer serves you or works for you, or maybe adjusting it, adapting it, being flexible with it as well. So I think those are the real things that people don't take into consideration when they set New Year's resolutions, and many people fail. So I know for sure now in January I wanted to join the gym, but I'm going to wait until Feb, because a lot of people, and this is funny but sad at the same time, the gyms are overflowing with people in January after Christmas. Everyone's desperately trying to lose weight, to become healthy. The New Year resolution is to get fitter, healthier, and actually most people, gyms will be empty again by February, or maybe even by end of January. So the point is, these people will fail. They will give up. Why? Because firstly, actually, that's another really good point. They will be going too hard at it, right? So going from no exercise to suddenly killing yourself in a gym is not a great way to meet your objective of getting fitter. You have to start small. Always start small with any objectives, right? You have to work to it bit by bit, little by little, right? And do not overwhelm yourself. Do not kill yourself, because if you kill yourself from the start, you will drain yourself of energy, you will lose motivation, and you will give up. But if you start little by little, slowly, gently, like with exercise, fitness regime, for example, you are more likely to stick with it, to continue with it, and for it to become an integral part of your life rather than just a one-off right at the start and, never get back to it again, maybe until next year, next January. And another really important thing is people tend to write things down, yes, but some of them do not. If you write your resolutions down, make sure they are detailed, make sure you add detail to it, make sure it's in a format where you can kind of add detail, timelines, little breakdown of your larger goals into smaller goals. Writing things down increases chances of it being actually coming into live. Otherwise, if it's just in your head or you just talked about it, you're likely to forget about it and not hold yourself accountable to your own objectives. And I think the other thing is really good is to find a friend or partner or someone, partner in crime, that you can kind of hold each other accountable to the goals that you've set for yourselves. That can be really motivating. And, when you share the goal with someone, you feel more likely to reach it. Personally, it doesn't work for me because when I share a goal with someone, I kind of feel like I've already done it. And I know it's a weird psychological thing, but actually I prefer not to share my objectives with people because otherwise I just give up on them. But that's just my personal quirk. For the majority of people, I think it works. So that's something else that you might want to consider. And just on a final note, I think it's important to have fun. When you're changing your life, when you're transforming yourself, your habits, your skills, it's really important that it's not meant all to be serious. You're supposed to have fun with it. If you're losing weight, if you're doing fitness, join a dance class, do some fun sports, something that will make, where you can meet people or really have fun with it, or really enjoy it, right? So something that's not only going to be strenuous and tedious, but also quite engaging and entertaining. So you have to let your hair down as well with it. Goal achievement is not all about killing yourself and being serious all the time. You can actually have fun with it as well. So on that note, I will leave you to think about your New Year's resolutions, how you're going to put them together, achieve them, hopefully. And even if you don't get there, at least thinking about these things and reflecting, I think it's a good way to just review where you are in your life. Perhaps you want to change absolutely nothing, maybe unlikely, but there are perhaps a few of you out there who are completely content with their lives and themselves and have nothing to change. I envy you. I'm not one of them. I have about a million things I want to change about my life and myself continuously, by the way. It's not a one-off. So yeah, have fun with it. Enjoy 2024. You'll be hearing more of me. So yeah, Happy New Year, guys.